Welcome back to Apex Sci-Fi. In the history of the hegemony, few names commanded as much respect as Admiral Marcus Volkov. He was the hero of the Siege of Altair, a tactical genius who saved a dozen worlds from collapse. But heroes often live long enough to see the flaws in the systems they protect. 3 months ago, Volkov vanished from high command. He didn't go alone. He took 3 heavy frigates, the Iron Sovereign, the Vanguard, and the Sentinel, along with 2,000 loyal soldiers. He declared himself a free agent, a rogue admiral who would no longer take orders from a corrupt Senate. The hegemony cannot allow a man of his influence to exist outside their control. They need him brought back to face a tribunal. They don't want him dead, they want him broken and displayed as a traitor. But no military fleet can catch him. Volkov knows every tactic in the manual because he wrote most of them. To catch a master of war, the hegemony had to hire a master of the hunt. They hired Silas Vane. Silas Vane does not fight like an admiral. He does not care about formations, logistics, or honor. He cares about the objective. The Shadow Wing drifts in the maw of the Maelstrom, a dense, purple-colored nebula filled with high-frequency radiation and erratic gravity wells. This is where Volkov has hidden his small fleet. The nebula is a natural fortress. Sensor arrays are useless here, and the jagged gas clouds can strip the hull of a ship in minutes. But Silas Vane isn't using standard sensors. He is using a modified graviton tap, listening for the specific hum of the frigate's fusion cores. Inside the cockpit, Vane is a statue of shadow. His tattered black hood is pulled forward, casting a deep shadow over the top of his obsidian mask. The single blue horizontal visor is a steady, cold line in the dark. He watches the violet gases swirl past his viewport. "I have them," Vane rasps. He sees the 3 frigates anchored to a massive derelict asteroid. They are running on low power to hide their signatures. Volkov is playing it smart, waiting for the hegemony to give up the search. Vane doesn't charge in. He doesn't have the firepower to take on 3 frigates in a fair fight. He begins a long-range surgical strike. He positions the Shadow Wing behind a dense cloud of ionized gas and deploys his stealth leeches, small, spider-like drones designed to clamp onto a ship's hull and drain its capacitor. He launches them into the dark. The drones find the Sentinel first. They latch onto the engine clusters and begin to feed. On the bridge of the Sentinel, the alarms don't go off because the drones are drawing power from the alarm systems themselves. Slowly, the frigate's shields begin to flicker and fail. Vane moves the Shadow Wing into position. He targets the Sentinel's communications array with his ion cannons. "One shot," Vane says. The ion bolt screams through the nebula, hitting the Sentinel with surgical precision. The ship's radio goes dead. To the other 2 frigates, the Sentinel has simply gone silent. Before they can react, Vane fires again, hitting the engines of the Vanguard. The nebula erupts into chaos. Admiral Volkov, aboard the Iron Sovereign, realizes instantly that they aren't being attacked by a fleet. A fleet would be loud. This is a ghost. Scramble interceptors. Volkov's voice booms over the local emergency channel, which Vane is monitoring. Pattern Delta. Find the source. Vane doesn't run. He dives. He pushes the Shadow Wing toward the Iron Sovereign. He isn't trying to destroy it. He's going to board it. He weaves through a hail of point defense fire, the Shadow Wing's pilot AI calculating trajectories in milliseconds. He slams the ship against the Iron Sovereign's hangar bay doors. He doesn't wait for a docking sequence. He uses a localized plasma charge to blow the emergency seal. Vane steps out into the hangar. He is met by 20 renegade soldiers. These aren't pirates. They are trained professionals. They take cover and open fire with disciplined bursts. Vane doesn't slow down. He raises a heavy kinetic shield from his gauntlet and walks forward. The bullets ping off the energy field, glowing red as they are deflected. Vane raises his heavy pulse pistol. He doesn't fire at the soldiers. He fires at the fuel lines running along the ceiling. The hangar erupts in a wall of fire. In the confusion, Vane is a shadow moving through the smoke. He uses his thermal combat knife to clear the path, moving with a terrifying, silent efficiency. He isn't killing them, he's disabling them. He slices through weapon systems and armor joints, leaving a trail of incapacitated men behind him. He reaches the command bridge. The blast doors are reinforced with a meter of steel. Vane doesn't use explosives. He places his hand on the door's control panel. He taps the side of his mask. The blue visor begins to flicker as he uploads a viral override script. The obsidian mask isn't just a shield, it's a computer interface more powerful than anything on the ship. The doors slide open. Admiral Volkov is standing in the center of the bridge, his old service pistol in his hand. His officers are reaching for their weapons. "Stop," Volkov commands. He looks at the figure in the tattered hood. He sees the featureless black mask and the cold blue light. "I know who you are. The Hunter. I heard stories about you at the academy. I thought you were a myth used to scare cadets." "The bounty is real," Vane rasps. "The hegemony is a corpse, Vane," Volkov says, his voice steady. "They want me because I know where the bodies are buried. If you take me back, you're just another shovel for them." "I don't care about politics," Vane says. He raises his pistol, aiming it directly at Volkov's chest. "I care about the contract. You're coming with me." One of the bridge officers tries to draw a concealed weapon. Vane fires a non-lethal shock slug before the man can even move his arm. The officer collapses in a heap of twitching limbs. "Last warning, Admiral," Vane says. Volkov looks at his crew. He looks at the disabled frigates visible through the viewport. He realizes that Vane has already won. He has crippled a fleet without firing a single lethal shot. He has outplayed a master tactician on his own turf. Volkov drops his pistol. "You're a professional. I can respect that." Vane doesn't acknowledge the compliment. He moves forward and locks heavy-duty pulse handcuffs onto the Admiral. The extraction is a blur. Vane leads Volkov back to the Shadow Wing through the smoking hangar. The other two frigates are still drifting, their systems slowly rebooting, but by the time they are combat-ready, Vane is already at the edge of the nebula. He sits in the pilot's seat. Volkov is secured in the back. The Admiral looks at the back of Vane's head. "They'll send someone for you one day, Silas." A man who collects heads eventually becomes a trophy himself. Vane looks at his reflection in the glass. The blue visor is as cold and steady as a dead star. "They can try," Vane rasps. He hits the hyperspace thrusters. The Shadow Wing disappears into the dark, leaving the purple nebula and the broken fleet behind. The hegemony will get their Admiral, and Silas Vane will get his credits. The galaxy remains a place where the powerful fall and the hunters rise. This has been Apex Sci-Fi. A fleet is only as strong as its commander, and a commander is only as strong as his back is guarded. If you enjoyed this tactical takedown by Silas Vane, hit that like button. Comment below, who would win, a tactical genius admiral or a lone bounty hunter? Subscribe for the next hunt, the Crystal Monarch. The Shadow Wing is back in the black. The Admiral is in the cage.